All right, guys, Robert Pickton.
Yes, that's the guy. When you said you had some Canadians, I'm like, they better be coming out of the gate with the pig farmer. Let's go.
Wayne's Timmy the pig nigga, and that's it. That's all you need to know.
You could go knock up a Mennonite for like 10 grand. You gotta fuck through a blanket.
It's like if I have telekinesis with a random guy in China. It means nothing.
I've never had a hangover. I'm like, you're a kid. They also keep coming up bigger pussies every fucking time, right? So wait till his kids come out.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Modern Apes podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Bridgegad. We're live from the ever-glorious Stan Studios, son. Sitting to my right, as always, the Vampire King, King Possum, Lord Meerkat. It's Tristan Bowling.
Mushy mushy, monkey. What's up, gang? Yeah, how we doing?
That's good. And we have second Canadian ever on the cast, one half of the Dude Buddy podcast. Give it up for the one and only Jarrett Campbell, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me, guys. That was just a fucking tornado of energy from the two of you off the top.
What do you mean?
Do you guys want to do that again? Is that the first take? Is that like you guys?
Should we hit it harder?
I can do Black Preacher.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I expected out of you.
I will tell you on this fine Tuesday evening, we got the one, the only, Jarrett Campbell sitting over here from across the pond. If the pond was just the border between United States and Canada.
Thank you so much.
Can I get an A?
Man, can I get a Tim Hortons?
All right, yeah. Second Canadian, obviously. The bro Danny came on here, talked about everything Canadian, left and right. How long have you been here for before we jump into it? Because we're doing a Canadian-themed episode today.
Yeah, I've been here 1 year this month.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Are you liking it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love New York. It's great here.
Love having
America's fucked, but I like it here in New York.
Well,
you guys are fucked up.
You're not in America. You're in New York.
Yeah.
It's a kind of different thing.
Have you ventured out into like the middle yet?
Oh yeah, I've been out there.
Oh yeah.
I did some. I did a couple shows. I was in North Carolina. I was in Florida. I was in
Kakalaki.
Texas.
Yeah.
Where'd you go in North Kakalaki?
Dude, somebody asked me that.
Kakalaki.
Somebody asked me that the other day, and
Kakalak.
I forget because it's not one of the major fucking.
Did you do Dead Crow?
No.
That's a great room.
I did. I forget what the club was. It was the Ian Lara, and I forget what the name of the club was. It was the first club I did on the road in the States.
Yeah.
Ate shit.
Yeah.
Just ate shit.
That's the
every
South,
day.
technically.
It was, yeah.
I
South.
think that's the start of the South.
Open carry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They'll let you
Carry
know.
state.
We're from
They'll let you
Arizona,
know.
son. That's
Fuck yeah.
It's concealed carry, no questions asked.
Oh yeah,
I love Arizona, though. I went down there just to talk to Tristan about this, just hiking the desert.
Yeah.
And that was fucking phenomenal.
So beautiful.
It really is.
Cotton candy skies.
Yeah. A little bit different though from the great white north. Is the stereotypes true? People nicer up there than down here?
I think that people tend to confuse being polite for being nice a lot of the time.
What you mean?
So that just because somebody is saying the right things doesn't necessarily mean that they are. I do think that across the board, yes, I think we have pretty nice people up there. But if you go to any city, like I lived in Toronto for the last 15 years, and that's like any major city, right? There's just as many. I had an experience when I first got here where I'd been in New York for only a few weeks, and I was at the comedy club here, and there was couple Canadians there.
Only one. Everyone knows that.
And there was, what's that?
No, the comedy club of
The
New York,
comedy
of
club.
New York City.
Williamsburg Comedy Club. I don't know if you guys want me to give it up.
The institution.
Yeah.
It was formerly Brooklyn Comedy Club and then Old Man Hustle. But I was in there and I was hanging out with a couple Americans that I knew, and they had these two guys that were from Canada there, right? And so in my mind, because I was just in America and I was away from home, so I was like, all right, I hit it off with these guys. And after talking to them for like 3 minutes, I'm like, that's right, I also fucking hated people in Canada. Like, these guys stink.
Yeah.
These are zeros from fucking Canada.
Yeah,
so,
there's a lot of pieces of shit from Arizona where they're like, dude, I'm from Scottsdale.
there's pieces of shit in Arizona?
Yeah.
No.
A lot.
I don't believe that for a moment.
Though? Where's the equivalent in Canada? Because what I like about Arizona, it's what I grew up on. A wife that's 12 years younger with a pair of over-tanned C cups with the freckles you're not born with, you got to work for.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's
that's where I grew up, 2 hours north of Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, Daniel has been sharpening a blade to kill that beast of that woman ever since. He's looking for, I'm pretty sure he's grooming his modern wife right now into being that lady.
I think they multiply if you kill them, though, right?
They do. They come back like
Their
wolves.
bellies are already full of babies.
They
We
breed like-
don't die, we multiply.
Yeah, that's right.
They come out lighter skinned every time.
Every time.
I moved to New York and I was like, yo, why does everyone have brown hair here? And then you realize everyone has brown hair. Just where we come from, they dye it immediately.
Turns out there's a cougar hydra.
No matter
out
who you
there.
are, you can be a white chick from Scottsdale or a Mexican from Phoenix. Either way, your roots are not going to match the tits.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Nah, I feel like, I don't know why it's more popular with girls than guys, but they just go hair dye crazy.
Right.
It's like, I know what I'm going to do. I just got broken up. The thing that's going to fix this is being blonde now.
Right.
Like,
That being said, I have been pushing Black Dude Frosted Tips for a while. He keeps thinking I'm talking shit. I will show up like 04 T-Pain with just random blondes.
Well, bro, we were talking about the tight pants. That's going to come back, too. Frosted Tips is on its way back.
Me
We've
and
all
Jarrett
been
were
there.
having a real old man conversation outside. We're like, these fucking kids, they don't know. They'll be back. They'll be back.
you
Yeah.
guys were out unking each other.
Yeah, and then I find I'm a decade older than this guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just getting old. I'm like, how old are you? 27. Fuck off. And then you sit here and be like,
Yeah.
I've never had a hangover. I'm like, you're a kid. You're a fucking kid.
www.patreon.com/The Modern Apes Podcast. We do 4 bonus episodes per month. And if you're a real one, we do an internal affairs episode. It's a little bit more, but we peel the podcast back. I've cried. Tristan says some choice words. It's a good time. Join the Patreon.
I don't mean it. Just kidding. I mean it. I mean what I said.
But I identify as an unk. I just want to be out here in fucking grilling slippers, telling kids that they don't know nothing. I called a kid a Thundercat the other day at a show, and I realized I'm not old enough to say Thundercat.
You have an old soul.
That's what I'm.
You do have an old soul, I think. Tristan's like,
Well, he's in Mickey Mouse pants right now, so you can't say
something's
old
off.
soul.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what
I'm
actually
just saying,
summed it up for us?
open up these pants, come inside, it's fun inside, dude.
Dude, we were
having a
talking at
ball.
the stand the other night. I fucking died. We were sitting there, and it was Tristan and another friend of ours, Henry. And I said something like, because my dad was in the military, and then he said something about like his dad, like we both have like tough dads.
Yeah.
And Tristan's sitting there, he goes, my dad was a conspiracy theorist. And I just looked at him, I'm like, no shit.
Wouldn't that be trippy as fuck if you see Tristan's dad roll up, fucking fresh military cut, pants tucked, all
Wouldn't buy it.
I've never loved my son more than this moment in my life. Like, actually being
Yeah,
proud
just
of me.
crawled out of the fucking bus. He's buried under the ground in his backyard preparing for end times.
Yeah, dude.
You know what? I can see that. Even though your dad's not like a traditional manly man, I guess, he does still seem like a doomsday prepper. He totally seems like they moved
Well,
up
you know
to-
how you said that they keep coming out lighter and lighter and lighter? They also
Lighter
keep
every
coming out bigger pussies every fucking time, right? So wait till his kids come out.
You guys are talking a lot of shit like I don't have 20 years worth of powdered food at my parents' house.
Powdered potatoes?
Yes, dude. And
Yeah?
they're actually not bad. And let me tell you,
I
we got
used-
them for 2012 and they're about to expire.
I used to eat those in college, dude. When
Really?
I
Not
had
bad.
when I had nothing else.
You can also, have you heard of mashed potatoing someone's lawn with those?
No, tell me.
So you get like, it's the shittiest version of mashed potatoes you get, and it looks like glitter before you fucking
Okay.
eat it, basically. It's just like little shells, and you throw it on someone's lawn that you don't like, and then when the sprinkler system goes, it turns into mashed potatoes all over
The starch kicks in.
It's
Yeah.
great.
That's pretty awesome.
It's solid. We used to do that when we were little.
Oh, I like that a lot.
It's a lot less dangerous than ding dong ditching because you don't have to get close.
Oh, what's ding dong ditching?
You're out of your mind.
Whoa,
What?
whoa, whoa.
You
Is that
probably did that.
You're
kid.
out of your
No,
mind. You don't know what
no,
ding dong ditching
No.
is.
You just,
They just
it's
called it
basically, I just said, oh, slip and slide. And you're like, oh, what?
No.
No, they just, I guarantee
That can't be the same fucking thing. I'm sorry I came out of the gate hard at you, but don't
you called me a
fucking
giant
don't come
pussy,
back at
dude.
me because I
We
don't
had
know
a
what
fun
something that
time.
starts with ding dong is.
Sorry, you
Okay.
can go to Shades of Green after this without becoming an issue later in the night.
Okay, that you know what you earn being an alcoholic, and you just haven't gotten there yet. All right,
All
you're
right.
just a young drunk.
Oh, ask my girlfriend. I've got there.
You're one of the few like men that we've had on. This is my wet dream. Just
I'm
being
not-
like, you're gay. I knew it.
No, listen. Okay, ding dong ditching.
Yeah, so basically you go up to your neighbor's house, bing bong, hit their doorbell, run away. So when they open the door,
Yeah.
nobody's there.
We call that Nicky 9 doors.
Told you they had a funny name for it. I told
Okay.
you. I knew.
You also have milk in a bag, so I can't really.
And also we call slip and slides wet tarp. Okay.
Wet tarp? You're
No,
getting real
you fuck.
clinical with it.
Of course we don't. But yeah, Nicky 9 doors, baby. You give it a little knock, you take off.
Why? Who's Nikki? Why is it 9?
What
Dude, I
happened to
don't
the first
fucking
8
know.
doors?
Huh?
What happened to the first 8 doors?
No, you got to hit at least 9 doors.
That's the whole thing.
I guess.
So you're just assuming that you're one on the block. So you call your neighbor 4 doors down, just being like,
Buddy,
get ready to catch those.
Where I
fuckers.
grew up, I had to drive another town over to get the 9th door. There was only 8 doors in my fucking town.
Oh, it was a small town.
8 of them
I
belonged
was
to
a
2
small
guys.
town. Dude, I didn't even live in the town. I lived outside of the sign. I lived in a county. I lived in a place called Gray County.
Damn near a village.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
And we got I went to a big high school because kids came from all an hour around in every
they bust you
direction.
in.
Yeah.
So we had a decently sized high school. But I got Mennonite neighbors, dude. You guys, you know what that is? Like Amish?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they're everywhere now. They multiplied.
But like,
Oh,
the,
dude,
but
I
like
was-
the new ones where they have like
They got computers and shit. Yeah.
stuff?
Oh, yeah. If your power goes out, they're the only house that's lit up like a fucking Christmas tree because they got their
'cause they have
generators
their
going.
kids doing slave labor, running like a.
There's a kid
hamster
riding a
on-
bike in the basement.
Yeah. Keep
Powering the
Going,
house.
Jedediah. We
Dude,
need light.
Let me tell you, I was getting on my train from Syracuse to get back here when I was visiting my dad, and by God, just a flock of Amish. Like, must have been 35 feet deep. It looked like a clown
What
car
day was it?
coming out of the train. It was a Tuesday.
Wait, what does
Okay.
that mean?
No, Thursday.
Well, because
Thursday.
if you go out there on Sundays, they have their whole processions coming from church. So it's like all horse and buggy, just like.
All dressed up nice though, like black.
No, they dress like shit constantly. It's the same. It's one. They have one outfit.
I love this.
They have one
Yeah,
outfit,
no.
and they got one smell. All right,
Yeah.
and I don't
No,
mind
they
being
all-
fucking mean because it's routed in an old conservative religion. So
well,
it's
I
like
will tell you this: they are some of the ugliest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my entire
They
life.
sure are.
Oh, it's just a goofball clown car coming out. I'm like, each time someone got out, I'm like, by God.
but they are an
Like,
advanced being because I do
They
believe.
stay in 1835. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean that I'm pretty sure that that the women have actually figured out how to develop the hearing aids that their kids wear within the belly that they actually come out already wearing
yeah.
them.
They managed to just jam an ocular up in there. or
Bro, you used to
cochlear
get
implant.
paid money. You could go knock up a Mennonite for like 10 grand. You had to fuck through a blanket.
Why are you saying that like it's common? What?
You had to pay 10 grand to have the worst sex of your life?
Yeah, it wasn't for you. It was like being a sperm donor because their bloodlines are so close, so they needed outside
Yeah.
sperm.
Well, now,
Yeah, you
what
can
is
Because
tell.
the religious concept, you couldn't have a look at her, and you didn't want to have a look at her, right?
Yeah.
So you just fucked that hole.
Now, when you say used to be able to, obviously it was back then. I couldn't put my hat in the ring to fuck a that's a no-go. Huh?
I don't think so. I've tried recently, and I think it seems to be
Yeah.
off the table.
The
People
cutoff
kind of
point?
looked at me weird for asking.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
You got solid genetics. We're talking about nice stash. Put yours a shame. Big kid. Fuck. I thought you about 6'4".
No, fuck no. I'm like 6'2". I did think I was 6'3" most of my life. It was pretty harsh.
I lied to
That's
niggas
a hard
constantly.
How tall are you?
About 6'2".
6'2"?
Somewhere 6'3".
Ish.
Depends
I
on
think you're a
who's
little taller
asking.
than me, right? 6'3"?
Yeah, depends
Maybe.
on who's asking. Anything above 6 feet, though, is where you want to be at.
Hell yeah. What are you?
Watch this.
What I am is excited for this topic.
I feel like Tristan spent most of his life underwater.
Nah, he's one of those fools that puts up. It's weird because he's not like a masculine macho bro at all. But the second you like call him 5'11" and not 6 feet tall, real ish.
No good.
No good.
I mean, just ask the state of New York. I'm 6 feet tall. Mm-hmm. And they don't lie. Ask Eric Adams.
New York.
All right?
When you're standing on business, huh?
Yeah, I'm standing on business 6 feet tall, 10 toes down.
All right.
All right?
All right.
Let's
I
get
slouch.
let's get into.
We know you got a fucking
the
lot of
topic a
paper.
little bit.
Got a guy.
Tristan came in with, just papers and papers on Canadian topics.
I'm currently in spring break, so I got time on my hands.
They were on spring break last week.
2 weeks.
What's the schedule of
Are
a
you in
lunch
school?
lady?
No, I work at a school.
Okay.
So I follow their schedule.
So it's not too late for you to shoot it up, huh?
Oh, every day.
All right.
Yeah, every day. I think, man, my calling is here. Why can't I?
I was like, I look at Tristan, I'm like, how did this guy get away with not shooting up a school in Arizona? I'm
Yeah,
like,
this-
wait, it's still coming, man.
yeah,
look at
no,
this
it's
dumbass.
I'm basically mass shooting edging
Yeah.
right now.
I was taking the train back from Syracuse after I got my gun from my dad's
Yeah.
house.
Trying to do comedy.
Mosin
Nigga. You know you got a
Nagant.
prophecy to fulfill.
Yeah. So your topic, we asked you what you wanted to hear about, and your big topic you want to hear about was serial killers, which seems to be a popular topic because we've done multiple serial killer episodes. Now it just seems like we're
Well, they
doing a
did say big
slasher
booty
podcast.
bitches at first, but I was like, maybe on a Patreon episode.
Yeah, well, big booty bitches, that would be hard.
Have you guys done serial killers?
Yeah.
But you told me when we spoke, I thought you said cults was like the closest.
Well, Colts, and then we did one that was like kind of serial killer-esque.
Okay.
But like mostly, we just had a lot of death. There's a big toll.
That's good.
Death count.
That's good.
And then we did one with Jeff Wiles where he wanted to hear serial killers.
All right.
And then
He's a good man.
I didn't do serial killer though. I did about how fucking what was her name?
I was about to say Martha Stewart, Julia Childs.
Julia Childs is in the CIA. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, she worked at like the OSS, which is watch the old episode, but it's like essentially the precursor to the CIA.
Uh-huh.
bodies on it.
Really?
Yeah. And then she went to cook French cuisine or whatever.
I like that.
Yeah.
But you're a fan of the serial killers?
I'm a fan. I think I'm a true crime fan. I'm fascinated by serial killers, and I watch a lot of true crime every night when I go to sleep. More
Okay.
or less.
Yeah.
Pro or anti Luigi?
I'm gonna say I'm pro Luigi.
Pro Luigi?
I'm pro Luigi,
We
but
like a
I don't have
pro-Luigi?
this deep rooted fucking relationship with health care.
You got to be a real
you guys do.
cocksuck to be
Because y'all got
anti-Luigi.
it comes out of taxpayer dollars, right? Like it's technically not free, but it
Correct.
You got to pay for it.
We,
in the
we
front
pay
end?
for it, but it's just more accessible and it's right there for you, and it's not like we don't have any privatized health care.
There's none at all. It's not
It's
like
all-
in England where you can still have.
I'm sure if you have a lot of fucking money, you like everybody, you can have like doctors and stuff that only certain people have access to, surely. But
Yeah,
like, no,
if
we don't
you have a lot of money, you can fly in whoever.
All right, hold on, before you, I got one question because it's gonna slip out of my mind. Are the oil field strippers a real thing, or like the hookers that follow around the oil field guys? Is that a real thing?
I know that there's a lot of strippers and hookers out around all of the oil patches and oil fields for sure, but I don't know about the following them around.
Okay, because I had uncles that lived in Canada for like the white side of my family. I got real like country whites, and they left Regina, New Mexico, to move to Regina, Canada.
Regina, Canada.
It's Regina on both sides.
Regina.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was
Saskatchewan.
America.
Since it's Saskatchewan,
That's
right?
how I used to tell people. I'm like, my family
Either
lives in
way, the
Regina.
cities smell terrible.
Yeah, it's fucking fish ole.
Yeah. That's a shithole.
Yeah. Actually, it's right next to the shithole. That's a great vagina joke.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah.
I did miss it.
No,
that's cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Robert Pickton.
Yes, that's the guy. When you said you had some Canadians, I'm like, they better be coming out of the gate with the pig farmer. Let's go.
Oh, so that
you
was the
know
guy
who
you
I'm
were
talking about.
Of course, everybody in Canada knows
I was
Robert
about to say,
Pickton,
because
dude.
he got caught around like
Goated.
Yeah, around 2002.
So
So,
this tells me
this
he
would
went
be
to-
up the time when you were like up and kicking cognizant.
Sure, dude. Yeah.
Okay, I
So-
want to hear about this.
Yeah, so born October 24th, 1939, to pig farmers 17 miles east of downtown Vancouver. His childhood sucked a big old one. He sucked a big old cock.
Why? Mutilation left on ice.
No, yeah, constantly cat. No, so he was a pig farmer. His dad wanted nothing to do with him. And when he didn't want anything to do with him, when he was like, hey, I got to talk to you, he just beat the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. So, and
There's a 50% chance that helps, though. It's like, I know a bunch of people had horrible upbringings, 50-50 on whether or not you're doing all right.
yeah.
You ever get slapped in the back of the head?
Yeah, but it's not 50-50 on serial killers.
Yeah, no.
That's
Yeah,
almost 100%.
Yeah, it's
that
always
something went
100%.
sideways when you were a fucking
There's
kid.
no
okay,
way
you're
it's
not
like
wrong.
Blue's Clues and kids' cuisines all the way to you.
You don't start
killing
screwing
hookers.
squirrels' heads off when you're fucking
Yeah.
12 if your dad was giving you hugs.
Yeah.
Whip a chicken down? Yeah, you're like, you didn't have a good upbringing.
Yeah, there's a whole nature versus nurture thing that would prove you wrong.
Okay, so his dad's not great.
Yeah, dad's not great, mom's not great either.
Oh, well, that's
So
always worse when the mom's not great. You're like,
Snake
you
eyes.
poor
Yeah.
bastard.
Yeah, bad roll of the dice.
when he was a kid, his sister got sent away from the farm because his mom said that farming life isn't good for a girl.
That's how she said it, farming and apostrophe, for
Yeah,
sure.
farming
Farming
life ain't good for these bitches.
Yeah.
It doesn't rate a good bitch. So he sent her off, which actually helped her out a lot because these kids were getting fucked over.
Okay.
So like they spent all their day like it being like doing basically barn stuff, having all this. One thing that stood out in Robert's memory that he constantly, because Robert is kind of a dumb piece of shit. His mom constantly be like, "You're slow" and stuff like that. "You're a slow boy. You're fucking dumb as bag of rocks." And they blame it on his umbilical cord being wrapped around his neck when he was born.
Sounds like her problem too, a little
Yeah.
bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a perfect womb, miss.
It's being blamed for how you came out
Well,
of the
you tried
vagina.
to hang yourself in my pussy. And you're like,
I
that's
wish
not-
I had.
Yeah,
I wish I fucking had.
yeah. I had it great up there, and then I came out here.
Yeah, about 45 hookers wish he had too, but go on.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it gets crazy. So there is some very silly parts in this. So Robert would later tell police that one memory that he has is that at 12 years old, he bought they got a 3-week-old calf that he loved that baby like a puppy.
I know this story all too well. Okay.
Yeah. So one day,
Daddy's about to take it away, and
well, let's not get to spoilers.
Tell you while you're eating it, you're like, that's Hammond, by the way.
No, he gets home from school one day and he can't find the cow. And he goes to his dad and he's like, it must have ran away. And he's like, nah, I don't think that's true. Cows don't just get like a fucking little bandolier sack like a homeless guy and just walk down the street for greater pastures.
That's the
Quite
same story
literally
with a
greater
beta
pastures.
fish. Yeah.
No, they found him in the barn and he was half butchered and hanging on a meat hook. And
which end would you want to see if you had to see one end of fucking Rupert or whatever?
I
the
always
cows
want to
that-
see a cow's ass.
Yeah.
Always looking for a cow's ass.
yeah. Is that why you volunteer at this insemination farms? Is that why?
I just stare,
Yeah.
I just stare at your steers for a second.
a hole.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's in a blanket or in a cow's ass.
I'll tell you what my grandfather told me. I'd fuck the earth if it got my dick wet.
You're telling me every other part of the cow's delicious and the pussy for some reason's not? All right. All right.
Oh, by the way, I have seen a Chinese TikTok of someone preparing cow pussy, and it takes a while for it to look anything like food.
This
Yeah.
big, bro.
Yeah,
You have to sear it until it flowers.
it's like no, it's literally like a pancake that like you look like you
they
don't.
got flat pussy?
Yeah,
Ew.
no, they
Cows
cut
got
it
flat
off.
puss?
They got to cut it off.
Huh?
They just don't go. They don't like pastore it like straight
Sure.
from pussy, carve it off like it's a euro.
Pickle it.
Yeah, I mean pickled cow pussy. Go to Buc-ee's. That's a good eat.
I mean, cow tongue's delicious. I bet you cow lips is probably all right.
Can't-
If you butter it up right.
Absolutely.
I don't eat cow pussy. That's gay. You have a real hood aspect of it. So his mom didn't love him, and also one thing that was regardable about this lady, she was notably ugly. She was
Why does that matter?
because basically they were a huge pig farm. They had over 200 pigs, and they would
201? Mom,
they
it
would
sounds
supply the pork
Okay.
to most of the town. So like if you wanted pork, you'd go to the Pickerton pig farm.
So were they rich?
Yeah, they had a lot of money, but the thing is, they lived in complete shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Why?
because they're like
They're white trash. They were like, you know,
You can't. Yeah.
you can still have. You know those people.
My
right?
family's
You
NASCAR
should have
whites.
more broken cars on your lawn.
Yeah.
like his mom basically taught him and his brother how to be people besides like the bathing part, like how to be like here's how you work on a farm, here's how do you do a pig. And he's like, well, I smell like abscess filth and I'm covered in pig shit, what do you do? And she's like, go to school.
Part of the game,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, and so he was made fun of a lot in school, getting the nickname Stinky Piggy, which I feel like they could have done better.
You had all that room to work with, and you and Stinky Pig. I'd rather.
His last name's Pickerton. You can call him Piggerton.
That's on the nose.
You know somebody was hitting that.
I mean, somebody.
Yeah.
One
there's no
ace.
way. Yeah, dude.
one sniper from the back.
Yeah, some kid was like, I'm gonna make it out of this half-bit town one day.
And that guy, Mike Myers. Jim Carrey. Yeah, so, when he got back home, he would go to the school, get made fun of all day, have no friends, and then go home and have to slaughter pigs and get covered in pig shit, living in pig shit. Like, one of his brothers, like, room growing up was a, like, modified coop. That, like, a chicken coop that he would open up one of the floorboards on and drink like cold water out of like this stream that was going.
Oh, boo-hoo. He had a cold water
Yeah, I was
stream, fresh water stream in his fucking bedroom. A boy can dream. Are you kidding me?
And I can't get a mini fridge.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, you might not have a pot to piss in, but you got a well.
This guy falls
you
asleep
ungrateful.
to a babbling brook every night.
That does sound peaceful. Just the hunger pains drown out by trickling water.
Slaughtered cow blood passing through.
How am I hungry and there's all these pigs around?
Yeah, no. So he was like completely fine with death, like being surrounded by it. Like he was noted as like whenever his parents were getting in an argument or whenever someone was getting mad at him, he would go and hide under the pig carcasses, and like, which I mean,
As you do.
as a 2009-2010 world class hide and seek champion that I am, it's
pretty good.
That's a good spot.
Pretty good.
That's a good spot. That's pretty much the last spot.
That's like the second place you check.
yeah.
I have a family that has a farm. Where the fuck are you just keeping pig because they're
In
hung.
the pig carcass corner.
We just don't have pigs on the fucking.
Well, you're slaughtering pigs. There's going to be carcasses around.
Well, there's like after they're gutted and like ready to be like chopped up and processed, you just kind of got a carcass on.
Oh,
the
he's
floor.
hanging in the chitlins.
Yeah, yeah. So,
gizzards.
All right.
So when Robert was 14, he left school and started becoming a butcher in the meat shop downtown.
Right.
This is when his brother then did an oopsie. Dun dun dun. What do you think the oopsie was? His brother's on a pig farm. He's 16 at the time. What do you think he does? Does he get in the chicken feed?
No, I don't know, summa cum laude or whatever from Temple.
No.
No.
You got any?
What do you mean by an oopsie? Like he got into trouble?
He got into trouble.
He got into trouble on the pig farm.
No, just in
Fuck
general.
the pig.
Okay, I like that idea. He hit a kid with his car.
The fuck? You threw it like it was happening on the farm.
I meant a general
that
whoopsie.
idea.
You can be outside. You think he's fucking
I didn't know
day
we had
and
the
night.
whole world in our hands for that
I mean,
guess.
you're 16.
Yeah, I
you
was
have to
thinking-
go to
yeah.
school and
I was
shit.
thinking like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He made like a pig face and was like,
yeah,
waving
I thought it
around.
was pig related.
No. I mean, he porked this kid with his goddamn Chevy.
Sure.
So he banged up his car pretty bad. And he went back. He didn't stop. He just drove home to his mom and Robert.
Left
and he
the
was
kid
like,
there squealing.
Yeah, well, like a pig. And then his mom and Robert come back to the scene, and they're like, what do we do? And his mom brings him 10 yards out to a ditch that has water in it, like a water-filled like kind of ditch, and just throws his ass in there. And
The mom dragged the kid
the mom dragged the kid and threw him in.
and threw him in.
Yeah.
Right on.
Is this like big, like in America we have the fucking the balloon kid who convinced people that he was like floating in the, you remember that from like 10 years ago?
Balloon Boy.
Yeah.
Is that national lore over there? Like everyone knows this guy?
Everyone knows about
Everybody
Robert
knows Robert Pickton, but I don't know a lot of this shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of his backstory.
I should know if that was like a Canadian like mainstay. It's like, oh yeah, everyone knows the fucking.
Oh,
pig
he's
boy.
right up there with Gretzky, dude.
yeah. Oh, you get a fucking Pickton this year? That's good. That's
All
good.
right.
Yeah, no. So basically, mom dragged him off. They didn't do shit about it. It was until like the day later that the parents file a missing persons report and they find the body. And it turns out in the like kind of toxicology whatever report that the person did, a mortuary person, I forgot the name, but
Mortician?
coroner, not mortician.
How was mine wrong? Don't they work at the morgue?
Do you know what? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
fuck
he's
you.
right.
That's crazy.
No, but so the coroner report proved that his cause of death was drowning.
Okay. Oh.
His
He
mom,
was like unconscious when she's
yeah,
lobbed
his
him in
mom,
there.
Oh,
Mom
they
killed the kid.
Oh, the
His
kid was
mom-
down.
I mean, it was a double tap. That was
Yeah.
that was a tag team effort.
Yeah, that
Holy
was
fuck,
yeah,
mom
was
just
from the
murked
top
kid?
belt, and
Okay.
from the top rope, his mom came down with the people pleaser, and
Flying headbutt.
yeah. And so eventually they find out who it is because a mechanic is working on a recently busted car that looks like it has been
Some kid hair in the grill.
it has like a fucking Toy-Mobile car in the front of it.
What year is this?
Missing child's hair in the grill.
What year is this?
Probably in the I'd say early 70s.
Yeah, because you said he was born in 49.
Yeah, early 70s.
Oh, they don't have good forensics then either. It's just like
This is open and shut.
Yeah, it's like it was that one right there. All
Yeah.
day.
And even if it wasn't, you have the broken car.
you're
So,
wrong.
you know, a bad place, bad time.
Not a big town.
Yeah, so the brother, being 16, only gets 4 years probation for it, and his mom is never questioned and gets away with murder.
Canadian policing, baby.
You will come to find out the Canadian police are pretty much just
Chill?
the wettest blankets of all time. They do absolutely nothing.
Are they pretty chill up there?
No, we got real cops. But like that, yeah, I'm assuming, dude, I watch enough to know that I think a lot of cops in the 70s were working a little differently than they
a
are
little
now.
Either they're dirty or they're looking at that and they go, "That is 4 years of my life in paperwork
Sure.
and court and all this
And,
other
you,
shit."
and that's paperwork
It's
at that
paperwork.
point.
Yeah,
You're not.
yeah, yeah.
There's no computer that you're
You're
doing
sitting
that.
down there being like, he was 87 pounds. Well, he was 87 pounds.
Yeah,
Half of him
exactly.
was gone.
Yeah, I'm not finding the other half.
Yeah, it's
I
long
got to
gone.
take lunch.
Yeah.
And so,
You know, if you like some Timmy's, I could go for some Timmy's. Right?
No.
There's a dead kid on the floor.
yeah. Oh, no, he ain't stopping us. So 1978.
Timmy's, can I tell you something real quick? Just side note. Just
Yeah, please do.
You got it on Canadian tip.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
Right. The most Canadian thing about Tim Hortons is that Tim Horton was a hockey player. Right. You know how he died?
Oh.
Drinking and driving.
That is the
Isn't that
way
awesome?
to go out. And
Tim
it's-
Horton, our Dunkin' Donut, wrapped his fucking car
Yeah.
around a telephone pole, hammered.
Wrapped it around a maple tree, and
they
some of the
just-
syrup was going into his brain.
they
Yeah.
just-
sir.
Oh, Canada. That's awesome.
So sick.
Yeah.
I hope, dude, just imagine killing another person being Tim Horton. And every
Awesome.
time you walk past, seeing, like, you guys want an iced coffee? And just being like, is there a Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' around here?
Now, did they start Timmy's when he was alive, or is it technically Timmy's Memorial
No. I think they
Donut
started.
Shop?
I think he started it when he was alive, when he was playing in the NHL.
Oh, that donut money got to his head.
That's right.
How can it not?
That's right, buddy.
That's awesome.
It's
All right.
two products in one. Punch the hole out, sell it separately. So smart. All right, 1978, Robert, dad kicks it. And the same year, a massive fire breaks out on the farm and kills like hundreds of pigs.
Okay.
So not great. The next year,
Have you ever actually heard a pig squeal?
yeah, it's crazy.
It's fucking jarring.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable to hear. Next year, Robert's mom dies too. So both
Party on.
Yeah,
Let's go. Farm's ours.
Taking in the afterlife.
Some
Yeah.
people get such a shit roll of the dice, dude. It's like, first of all, both of your parents are abusive, then they die young. Your
He
mom
didn't get the shit roll of the dice, dude. He got fucking win streak in the will, dude. His mom left him the entire farm
Yep.
that he was supposed to stay there and manage, and also gave each one of his siblings $90,000, which is an equivalent of $3,800,000.
Oh, this dude fucked it off for sure.
Yeah,
There's 0%
And
chance.
the land alone of the farm was worth $4.2 million. By the time he gets caught, the land was worth $70 million.
These are the Beverly Hillbillies. What the fuck? These guys are loaded.
Yeah, but he was doing what he loved.
That's
It turns out he was. And Robert was now rich and staying at the farm. He was kind of a weird fucking dude while he was there and started like...
You don't say.
You ever met a
Yeah.
farm kid?
Yeah.
What?
One thing that he did was his favorite horse died. And so what do? You
wear it. You
cut
become
off
the
its head,
horse.
You cut off its head and you bring it to a taxidermist.
Sure.
And you hang it on your bedroom wall to look at you while you sleep.
Uh-huh.
That's weirdly not weird to me. Because
fine.
my family has like taxidermied elk and deer and shit.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Similar.
Like for like a horse you liked.
Except it's a pet. It's like hanging your dog's fucking head.
Yeah, that's
on the side of the
crazy.
wall.
I just had to put a cat down, and
Yeah.
because it's a cat, that's weird. If it was a slightly bigger dog, I would have thought about it for sure. Just being like, we could stuff its head.
It
Like,
would be
it's
neat.
Yeah, just to be like, that's
Yeah.
fucking.
Put a coaster in its back and you just set your drink on
Well, yeah,
there.
it can't be creepier
beside
than
the
fucking
TV.
cloning a dog. We're just like, I want the same thing. Again, do it. Like, that's weird as hell.
Or you just like plug all the fucking little circuitry from a Roomba into that thing. Have a dog that cleans your house.
Not.
Are you sure you don't have anyone in your closet somewhere? You look like a guy who has
Dude,
someone in his
I'm in-
This is what
closet.
I'm saying, dude.
Brother, the only person in the closet is me, pal.
I think this is why I really picked this, because I wanted to watch a guy that I suspect of being a serial killer
does
read
have
these
Watching me
stories
just rub
to
myself
me.
through my jeans.
Yeah,
while I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, and he got away.
Big wet patch on his pants when the episode's done.
It would explain
Yeah.
the constant knee twitching. I would twitch too if I knew I had fucking
you know-
I'm
different
knee twitching. My knee's flying right now.
4 different fingers in my pocket.
Because you're gonna come. Mm-hmm. The thing about me, I've been coming.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm as steady as a fucking little. When you hold your breath in Call of Duty, it's fucking steady.
I like that.
Yeah,
What a reference.
I know. It's a good one. So basically, he was going about doing his thing at the house. He did fall in a little bit of love with a pen pal because he realized that he wasn't going to be able to go and get pussy the modern way because he's still not bathing.
wildest.
And he smells like shit and no one wants to go home to his weird, gross fucking pig farm with poop everywhere.
Right.
So he decides to talk to someone through pen pal. They meet up. She lives like a few states over and within...
States?
Yeah, states over. And
What do they call it over there?
Provinces.
There we go.
he goes to Minnesota, dickhead.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, it's not nine door or whatever the hell that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. He doesn't travel through the quantum realm or
Fucking
whatever you call it when you
disrespect.
drive in your bullshit city. No. So he goes, he visits her. In 5 weeks, he proposes to her. And even though the entire time they never fucked. Because he has a hard time having sex. Because usually, like the way that things happen with him, is he loves something and then he's got to kill it.
Right.
That's how it's been with the farm the entire time.
Mother's milk.
Yeah, mother's milk. Got to take that milk out. Only one person on that teat. And so he goes and stays with her for 5 weeks. They get engaged. And he's like, I got to go back to my farm. Come with me. And she's like, I'll come up there soon. She never goes.
Right.
And he never talks to her.
Well, she obviously accepted that proposal like out of fear. That was just like, I
thing-
don't want to upset this guy who's obviously insane.
Well, he's been there for 5 weeks. The thing is, they bonded a lot. Like, they were both kind of oddballs in their local area, which when I saw why they were oddballs was very funny. Was because he smelled like shit, and she apparently was just very fat.
Sure.
And so...
I wasn't picturing a small,
Yeah.
supple woman. When you,
Yeah. So she was, like, obese.
You
and
mean
he
the
was,
soon-to-be wife of the pig farmer? That dime piece? Yeah, there's 0%.
and this is a guy who tried to clean up having been covered in pig shit his entire life. Like, it's not going to work out.
That being fair, rider though. If you're willing to put up with all that, some of these hoes out here don't put up with like, $5 less in your pocket. She's like, yeah, you smell like shit and you own pigs.
she can't clean her own ass.
Okay, babe, can you wipe under my back flap for me? It's starting to stink.
It's
again.
another day at the farm, baby. Get on over here.
This guy's slapping skin tags.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Dude, I'd leave. That's one thing I can't do. I love my wife to death. If she ever walked to me and was like, yo, can you clip this skin tag off? I'd be like, I'm watching.
Yeah, it just says Buzzkill and Braille on her back with skin tags. All right, so back home, Robert opened up the farm doors once he got back to the one and only Hells Angels. Why wouldn't you?
Wait, the Hells Angels are there?
Yes.
A lot of Hells Angels out in BC.
What?
Yeah, British Columbia has a large Hells Angel population and also a large prostitute population.
And massive Hells Angels out in Quebec and like Montreal had the largest outside of the United States.
I didn't know they were international like that.
Big time.
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest Hells Angels, the leader of all of the Hells Angels was from Montreal for a while.
Yeah. They got a huge population.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A lot of bikers.
I like this. Oh, that'll go into my thing.
They
There's
won't
a bunch
say
of shit you don't
they
get
won't
at.
say sorry when they cut you off.
See, now I
Yeah.
didn't do the accent, and I made a real.
That's okay. I'm trying to learn how to say sorry.
Yeah, you did it.
Sorry.
Now it sounds like you're apologizing for stealing candy.
Sorry.
All right, there you go. Okay, so he brought in Hells Angels, and the Hells Angels were fine with him because he had money and he was chill, and they let them drink and throw parties there.
They can use the pigs for their jackets. Everything wins.
Yeah, no, they actually built a chop shop and like on his like little kind of barn place where they would go and like bring in bikes and shit, and they coined the name of it Piggy Palace, which Piggy Palace is also the home of so many horrors. I see that you're eyeing my my little
Page 5.
page 5. We're
You
almost-
number your pages.
Yeah, so I know I don't get them out.
It's the most
of order.
organized I've ever seen this guy.
Yeah.
So the parties are big. They have he's eyeing something I've written down that came up later. They had a sign out in front of their house that said like "Do not enter. We have a pit bull with AIDS."
Right.
But why
Yeah.
does that? Why is the AIDS necessary? You can't just be like,
Because it's a poisonous
Because,
pit
man, you don't
bull.
wanna
I
get
have a
bit by a
Doberman with
fucking-
syphilis. Beware, niggas.
Yeah. Way more scary, dude.
It was in the height of the AIDS crisis,
Yeah.
and also this place
Yeah.
in British Columbia was the highest, I think, level of HIV positive people in the North America.
I got a Rottweiler and its dick leaks. Try
Yeah.
me if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have a Doberman Pinscher who was at Diddy parties. Come at me, dude.
That's wild.
No, so he eventually, kind of a good idea, he coins and like makes a company out of this place called the Piggy Palace Good Time Society, which get that on a shirt soon.
That sounds like a
Join the $20 Patreon where you can subscribe to the Piggy Palace Cool Society.
No,
whatever
that sounds
the
like a place you wake up and don't remember shit. You're like, how am I
Well,
here?
we're getting to that.
fuck. Well, here's the thing, Daniel. You don't wake up.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So they throw parties there a lot with a bunch of the Hells Angels. The largest party they have recorded there was like 1,800 people.
Holy fuck.
It's like Prince did a set.
just
This thing
Fire
was-
Fest, dude.
This thing was
Yeah.
popping.
Yeah, and so among them, the regulars were the Hells Angels and also local prostitutes, which have been going missing in droves recently.
It's always the first to go. It's either kids or hookers go missing.
That's
And
it.
that's the issue. Because it's hookers, Canada kind of like...
They weren't paying attention.
They
May as
call-
well have been an indigenous woman because we didn't give a fuck.
Dude,
Is that why you guys do the land
No,
right
we have
thing now?
we have a
Dude,
really bad
waiting to
history
waiting
for
to eat-
missing indigenous women and evidently missing prostitutes in BC.
Dude, if
So-
you eat like British, like whatever, is it British Columbia?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear BC. I always get it mixed up. Because usually before Christ.
Don't you have to do like before live shows and stuff over there if you're on the land of
You have to
like-
do it before eating a hooker's pussy
We have to
in
do
Vancouver.
land acknowledgements.
Yeah, land
as they call them.
acknowledgement.
That's cool. I mean, that's kind of cool, low key, because we just like.
Is
By the
it?
way,
If you're at a strip club, they do a pussy
I've always thought it
acknowledgement.
was really funny though because you would like I've talked about this before, but the idea of them coming out and being like, oh, we thank you for like letting us use this land and blah blah blah, and then a comedy show starts and a guy comes out, he's like, you ever burped cum? And it's like this is what we did with your land.
we murdered everyone so this nigga could tell dick jokes.
Yeah, 100%.
Hope you like it.
Yeah.
We did the same thing, but we just
Yes,
don't
you
talk
did. You
about
guys
it
just
la-
aren't. No,
we
because
just
you
talk
guys
about
have
it
a
last.
bunch of other things.
Did
right?
y'all give them casinos?
Slavery is the big one for you guys. Ours
Yeah.
is our wiping out of the indigenous population, which you guys did also do. But you're just like you guys are kind of like let's pick one and focus on it.
What'd you
Yeah.
guys do? Did you Australian where you just like they're in parks drinking wine like out in the open, or they have reservations? Like
No,
what
we
if-
have reservations,
okay.
and the reservations are bad.
Yeah.
And now to this day, a big problem in Canada is women go missing from those reservations all of the time, and there have so many unsolved murders of missing Indigenous women.
Do they have different cops like we do out here? Do they have reservation police and stuff?
For the most part, no. It'll be the provincial police that would do it, just like the state police or
The thing,
or whoever. But no, they usually don't. And it's just widely, a lot of these women, because of the conditions of where they're living and everything, they do fall into being like prostitutes
That's
and
one of the
street people.
options, yeah.
And they go, it's big problem.
yeah,
That's what they don't tell you with the smile and the coffee, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, no. So it is a huge issue, and Robert is taking that to his full advantage.
He's like, if they're not
because
gonna
the
find
police,
them.
the police have a term called like less dead, where it's just like some people are missing and some people are dead, but like the prostitutes are like less dead. Not a lot of people are looking for them, and also they could just be somewhere else. Like they could be like going.
Well, that's the thing, right? A lot of them are what do you vagrant? What's that?
yeah, kind of
they
like a
leave?
vagabond.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a lot of them do leave, and they don't have. There's no record of where they've gone, and some of them show up again a few years later, and some
Dude,
of them,
the pigs are eating the hookers.
yeah, yeah, bro.
Let's not beat me there.
Oh man.
No. So basically, the first kind of recorded violent thing that happened with Robert was in 1997 when he went and picked up a hooker off of like the kind of downtown.
Can I tell you about it real quick? Where that is?
Yeah.
Just so you have an understanding of it.
Yeah.
There's a place in Vancouver. It's probably the worst strip in all of Canada. It's called East Hastings Street. And if
That's
you've
what they were
seen-
talking about,
If you've
yeah.
seen The Wire, it's like Amsterdam.
Oh, it's like that?
So they've segregated all of the drug users to this street. I've been down that street. It's just people dying on the sidewalk. They have all these like safe use houses and stuff, but it is hell. Like it is like you'd think you're not in Canada. You wouldn't think you're in North America when
Is it
you're
like
going down the
Kensington
strip.
and Philly? Where it's like
Yes,
that? You got dudes just leaning all over
Yeah,
the place?
That's exactly what it would be like, and that's where he would end up going to pray. But that is a notorious street in Canada that everybody in our country knows about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he would go and hang out East Hastings, way worse than Sesame Street, and I mean, like Sesame Street and Broadway, you can get stabbed
Big
by a
Bird
Muppet.
means something
Sure.
totally
Yeah.
different over there.
Yeah. You call Feltanol. Have you ever had that?
Oh, now.
Oh, God.
Were you sitting on that?
No.
Yeah. Were you
Fold
sitting
it out,
on that?
Fold it out. Fold it out.
That's put Oscar in
Holy
the trash
Bam,
can.
bam, bam, bam.
You can just fold those papers up and leave, I think.
yeah.
We'll just talk for the rest of
Yeah,
this.
Feltanol is fantastic. That might be a bit. So
Okay, that I gotta stop you. That upset me.
yeah.
I don't want to hear that. I don't
You're
want to.
right.
I don't want to hear the fucking
pain-
sausage get made like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Says it and then to the
Yeah.
pod. Oh, dude. But now, what's funny about that is you've told the listener that's going to be a bit, and I hope someone who listens to this podcast sees you live and sees it just fucking bomb.
Yeah.
It was funnier on the cast. Like, thanks for
Yeah.
watching.
My daughter died of fentanyl. Like, but imagine Sesame Street.
Yeah, big gulp into the mic.
That's funny. They just call it felt for short.
Yeah.
Damn, I had a cousin die off felt.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yo, this trip bad. This might be felt. So basically, 1997 picks up a lady from the Bass Street, Hastings, and gives her $100, takes her back to the pig farm. She's like, ew. And she's reading over a phone book, and he tries slaps handcuffs on her, and he's got a knife in his hand. And she reaches for
Very
a
gacy.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
gacy.
He reaches for a knife and stuff like that. Well, she reaches for a knife, and he stabs her in the stomach. And she stabs him in the neck. So
True love, man. The story is old as
Buddy, it's an old Western standoff.
Yeah.
It's a duel, really.
You know what?
So
I
they-
like them feisty.
he struggles her out to the car, and then he eventually kind of falls like limper because of blood loss, because getting stabbed in the
You know,
neck really-
jugular.
yeah, kind of takes like the priorities out of what you're going to do in the day. And so she gets to run off and gets picked up by someone and goes to the police station, tells them about this. Robert comes in and is doing the same thing, being like, yo, this bitch just attacked me.
Smart.
And stuff like that.
Getting ahead of it.
Yeah, he's just being like, she's on fucking drugs. She just attacked me. And like the cops are just being like, we got two crazy people here. Let's do nothing about this. And so
Everyone's leaking, and they're just like, what are you going to do about it?
That's a draw.
Yeah.
That's a fucking draw.
Well,
It's
there's
a
a
wash.
clear winner. What do you want me to
Go
do?
home.
But this wasn't the first time that this has happened at Piggy Palace. This is just the first time that a lady has been able to talk about
To
it.
get out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so cops didn't care, but the number was getting higher and higher. So basically, everyone's hanging out at Piggy Palace, and everyone is going through Piggy Palace, and no bodies are showing up or any evidence of any sort. Like, the closest thing that they have to evidence is one of Robert's employees who works under him, like, for, like, the whole pig farming business, has to go and collect his checks from the pig farm every day. And he's like, hey, every week, he's like, hey, you guys have, like, a decent amount of purses and women's IDs around here. What's up? And so...
This is basically the Canadian version of Tiger King, by the way. This is all it is. It's just some psycho with a bunch of animals and
There's also
bodies
some
go
Snatch
missing.
vibes in here, if you've seen the movie Snatch, right?
Yeah. They literally, the guy who like had this tip went up to the Canadian police, told them all this, and they're like, we're going to move this to our highest priority. And then the guy who said that got transferred departments, and nobody talked about it from then on out.
They had a good thing going. They didn't want this mess.
Did he get sketchily moved departments, or you think like his kid needed to go play ball in a different town or something like that?
Yeah, I feel like that might be a little muddy. We'll have to look deeper into that.
So
Off pod.
Yeah. So 1997 happens. All the while, women are just going missing in droves. And it takes until 2001, 18 years after people started disappearing, for them to form a task force to actually find these missing women.
9/11 did it.
Yeah.
What?
50?
Everyone's forming task forces, dude.
Okay, I was like, what?
Yeah.
We're going to take down the Afghanistan's, Iran, and the pig
Let's finally
people.
go after that fucking weirdo up the street.
Yeah, you know, since we're putting boys together, yeah.
Well, we're all mad about something.
Yeah.
Let's fucking point this in a good direction. So they do this in 2001. Guess how many women were already missing?
3.5.
54.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
That's like 3-4 a year.
yeah,
Buddy, Jordan.
Yeah,
I
Jordan.
was going to say,
multiple rings.
non-Hall
Multiple
numbers.
What I say about
rings.
Gretzky? What I say about Gretzky?
What I say about Horton.
Wayne's Timmy the pig nigga, and that's it. That's all you need to know.
So basically, Robert was a suspect when
Yeah.
they first started doing this 2001 investigation, and they initially did a search on his property for guns due to his association with the Hells Angels, with him having like illegal guns there. And while they were there, a rookie cop made the discovery that blew this whole thing up.
Always some
Hot
kid
shot.
who wants to be a
Where's
big
his
shot.
fucking movie? Probably
Yeah.
been made in Canada and died on TV.
Yeah, exactly. It's on your guys' USA network,
Yeah.
or CA.
Shot by
So-
a college student.
So what they found was the rookie cop was going around, and they have like, imagine you're a police officer in Canada. They have a poster board with every single missing chick on this wall in your office all the time. You're constantly looking at it, or some degree. And he's going through this guy's house, and he finds an inhaler, and on the side, prescribed to this person, was the name of one of the missing chicks.
That's right. Prostitutes get health care in Canada.
Yeah.
That's right. The prostitute had a fucking inhaler, and you guys would have never solved this fucking crime
With your
because she wouldn't have had access to that fucking inhaler.
Healthcare.
Yeah.
We got hookers dying in these streets.
Yeah.
Stupid.
We got pill bottles with other people's names on them, but we don't have a proper inhaler.
That is wild. I mean, low key, yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Socialized healthcare worked for once. That's crazy.
So this led to an eventual forensic search of the Piggy Palace, where they found the remains of 27 women. Several of them locked in freezers, and other of them were ground into mulch and fed to the pigs.
That's it. See, and that's the thing. Because remember, in Snatch, you were feeding, because they said that pigs can chew through bone and everything. So that's always been the theory, is that there's a lot of bodies they couldn't find because they think they were just fed
And
to pigs.
pigs will eat anything.
Yeah.
You
But that
throw anything.
wasn't the concerning part. Well, it was concerning that pigs were eating human remains, but
Yeah,
he
pigs
was
were
also
getting their get back, and that's
he
not
was,
the concerning part.
he was also grinding some of the raw human remains into the food itself. So in Canada, an official
we was eating some hooker.
This guy went
Yeah.
full Sweeney Todd and just started making fucking meat pies.
Yeah.
Good movie, by the way. You ever seen Sweeney Todd?
No.
It's a good
I
movie.
haven't. I'm familiar, though. I'm familiar with the
He
movie.
ain't missing much. Just Gaylord maybe watch.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Johnny Depp almost didn't take the role. Who else could it have been?
Right.
Who else could it
I
have
knew you
been?
had 7 facts that you were
Who
debating
else
on
could
whether
it
you
have
figured
been?
out.
Honestly, you're out of your mind. It was a great movie.
The kid who played Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I mean, you name it. Anyone?
Oh, you mean the guy who looks exactly like me? Thanks. No. So the cops found out that he was putting people in there, and he went on the news and said, "Hey, if you've been buying pork from the Pickerton Farms," which a lot of people have, they're like, "You may have been eating human remains for what has been at least the past 20 years." And so
And you
one
have
of
to
the
have a hard look at yourself and be like, fuck,
Get some of that street jerky.
I think I like people.
Yeah.
Shit's been delicious for 20 years.
They said you could get sick if you couldn't get sick, but the only way you could get sick if you didn't eat it fully cooked, and you could potentially get hepatitis B from it.
So you're telling me they're cooking hookers to like the perfect medium rare and then just slapping them out?
What I'm telling you is that some guy in Canada ate some breakfast sausage links and got hep B from it for not cooking it too long, and then his girlfriend broke up with him because she thought he was cheating.
Yeah, and another guy would have eaten the same sausage and had the best day of his life. It doesn't always go that way.
I know. Yeah, so Canadian public...
Broke 80 on the golf course. You know, there were other things that happened after guys ate that shit.
I was a scratch golfer only one day in my life, and it's after I ate people ass.
But also, keep in mind, this is full AIDS panic swing in Canada, so they're not pumped to hear about they have a stranger in their mouth.
This may be a dumb question. Did the AIDS epidemic happen at the same time? Or was it like...
I feel like AIDS got like... the epidemic happened like the 80s here, but like it kind of just kept
No, it was
going.
happening at the same time. You motherfucker!
Look,
I think that you truly.
You guys get COVID
you know
yet?
what? And I hate to say it. I think Tristan might have a better grasp on this, but I think you might actually believe that I lived in an igloo, right? Like you seem like you got that American brain.
dude,
Like you are fascinated by. They got Hell's Angels,
Dude,
Wait, what do you mean?
I
Went
love
to
it.
school.
I love
You went
it.
to school.
I love it how he doesn't think there's Hell's Angels there when there's roads that connect the two.
Well, no, because when I was doing research on Canada, I realized 80% of you guys live in in the front part of the country, right?
Same
And
with
then
like, yeah, but that's kind of the same in the States, right? Don't most of you guys live on the East Coast or California?
But the only place that I had family was in the non.
Right.
So I only
Oh,
associate.
you were in like the
fucking-
desk, like kind of like the if you're like Regina, that's like the middle. That
Ice road
is
trucker
that's
shit.
prairie shit. Yeah, dude.
So like I just get reports from my uncle Larry. It's like,
Right.
ain't shit out here. You're like, all right,
Oh,
that's
dude, so we got the same shit. Alberta, where Danny's from, that's just like very similar to Texas. The BC is all like that. The Vancouver's right above Seattle. They're very similar cities. They're
ones.
rainy West Coast cities.
Yeah.
With huge drug problems.
I was gonna
And-
say I went to
yeah.
Whistler once because you can drink earlier there.
Yeah, Whistler, beautiful.
Good time.
Beautiful.
Can't snowboard.
You know what those were? Those were the fucking Rockies. Same ones you have. Same fucking ones you have. Can you believe it?
No.
I was trying so hard not to Canada disrespect. I didn't do the accent
That's
at all. But I was
okay.
like, you guys have words out there, huh? All right, interesting.
Yeah. So he got caught after they found like 27 bodies and like people mulch. And during his interrogation, Robert referred to himself as the pig man.
Well, at that point, you just gotta own it.
Yeah, and was impressed his face was in the news. He wanted to be charged with all 50 murders that he said he committed, but was only charged for 26 that they convicted of. 26 they could charge him for, and then 6 he was actually convicted of. He was sentenced to life in prison and was supposed to be on parole in 2035, I believe, but was recently on May 31st, 2024, killed in prison in an altercation between inmates. So nobody knows.
Wait, y'all got prison fights up there?
Wait, do you guys have blacks in prison? I don't know how this works over there.
Yeah, we do, but they talk white. You wouldn't know when everyone's in bed.
Yeah.
But
Just a gang full of Drakes in a Canadian
Ooh, I'm
prison.
gonna bust
is
you
very-
open.
y'all fam. I'm cheese fam. That's the
fam.
last thing you hear.
You mans and them. I can't stand
I can't
that.
say it either.
Toronto.
I talked about it yesterday too on another podcast. It's the cheesiest fucking accent on the planet. It's embarrassing. This Toronto accent that has emerged with all the Utes. With all the Utes is it's fucking awful. It's
You know what, I'll give you
top
that,
5
though?
worst accents on the.
I don't like New York either. That's why I'm afraid to have fucking kids here because I don't want that accent in my house.
I like the New York accent. I mean that Staten Island. It's kind of. It's a little trashy.
Well, I was thinking, is it only
But I
black?
like Boston. Like I like that. I like that Massachusetts.
Well, that Toronto accent, is that more like the hood accent? Is that
Yeah,
like the...
yeah, but it's been adopted now by a lot of the young kids that are now just like hip hop fans and stuff. It's become
makes
kind of a
sense.
thing out
'Cause
there.
you'll see
But yes, it's from
Wagwan
Mookso.
Delilah.
Type of neighborhood. Yeah. Listen, I ain't hanging out where they talk like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, listen, we don't got many Oiler bars over there.
No, that makes sense. There's a bunch of white kids over here saying you heard B, and it makes absolutely no sense.
Yep.
We outside. It's like, shut up, Chris. God damn it.
A legitimate question, Robert Pickton. Has he been like within the zeitgeist of like in Canada in the sense of like when you were
I think it's just Robert Pickton, isn't it?
Yeah. Pickton, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Is he like integrated? Because like you'd hear your kid just being like, "Oh my God, he looked like Jeffrey Dahmer."
Yeah, he's on the toonie.
Yeah, he's on the toonie.
Yeah, we got the big farmer.
Looney Tunes
$2
money.
coin. No, everybody knows about him.
No, but is it like
infamous serial killer?
Is it
case.
like kind of like a slang where like people would be like, "Yo, that bro looked like Jeffrey Dahmer," and kind of meme it, or are they still like, "No, that's serious"?
Not so much. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely serious. Again, like that, I think out in BC, it hits really close to home because they're still having a lot of problems with with missing people from the streets. It's just still happening out there. And then I think they probably had copycat people out there, but once they knew all these women were going missing and the eyes were on him.
Yeah.
But again, it all comes back to like missing Indigenous women. So the whole missing women in general is a very touchy subject
Out there
in Canada.
ladies just go missing.
Yeah, they do.
right.
They
It's crazy.
disappear.
There's a copycat killer with an alpaca farm somewhere. Just
Buddy.
being like, these alpacas will not eat people.
Could be. But yeah, he's definitely infamous in Canada. Like everybody knows about
Your
him.
guys' PR team
Bob.
is tremendous. It's like the only thing that ever gets pumped out is like people are nice and the coffee's good. You know, there's pig
Trudeau's
mass
a wet
murder.
blanket doing blackface.
I think our
Yeah.
biggest, I think you guys are the PR team by literally not paying attention to us. I think that's what it is.
That's fair.
You could, if you, you go watch some Canadian news, you're like, there's shit happening and we're very aware of it.
Closest thing I got to Canadian news this year is watching the fucking whatever, like the 4-team Winter Classic where everyone got in a fucking fist fight.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was sick.
It's fucking great.
And you guys beat us in the end.
Well, don't
Yeah.
kneel during our anthem. We won't have to spend most of the fight hurting
They
people.
were booing the national anthem, and I really don't give like I'm not a hockey guy. But the second I saw that, I go, "Oh yeah, host."
I know, and that's
Wanna
no, but
fuck
that
it?
comes back to what you guys don't know a fucking thing about what's going on because I had to explain to every American, like, you guys are fucking booing our anthem, huh? I was like, dude, we're not booing. We've never booed the American national anthem ever.
Good.
Okay, we're not booing the USA. They're booing Donald Trump and your current government that has decided that we're no longer an ally. So when you
But
hear
you could
them,
be a state though.
huh?
You can be state.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. You know who really doesn't want it? Republicans here, because that's going to be like 52 of your fucking those votes. The college, whatever the fuck.
electoral college.
Yeah, and it's gonna go liberal, dude. Like you're fucked if that happens. It's California, big California up there.
No, I thought it's all oil. How is
But
it
no,
all?
but not that side. There's a pocket. You got a couple provinces that are right there.
I don't know if you know this, but with us making you a new state, we're gonna cut up the provinces a little bit. We're gonna have
you're gonna
North New Hampshire.
yeah.
Yeah.
and then West Arizona, and that's
Seattle
gonna be that's gonna be
No, but just to be clear, that is what's happening. It is Canadians are mad at Donald Trump for now deciding that we're no longer an ally for no fucking reason other than wanting to bully us. So that's what Canadians are mad at. Canadians have never booed the national anthem outside of this current government, literally
Never booed
outside of
the
the last 2 months.
But
Never
now-
booed the national anthem. Never tried to find a missing woman.
Never.
But now that you're over here in America,
Yeah.
isn't it kind of sick? Isn't it just sweet to be
Yeah.
like, boo, we're the best?
I love being here. I like living in the States. I like a lot of American people.
All right,
I
I'm not
like being
immigration.
in New
You can-
York. Now listen, but I would never, ever want Canada to be the 51st state. I
Yeah.
want there always to be a Canada.
Yeah.
I love having a little passport in my back pocket and watching the fires burn down here, dude. I like
I
that
could
I got a
leave
place to go
tomorrow.
while you
Yeah.
guys implode.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I ain't got nowhere. If Arizona goes, everything else is going to be gone anyway.
That being said, I'm papered. I just got health insurance. We're laughing, baby.
Isn't it nice?
It is.
Yeah, it is good.
It's awesome.
It's nice. But you have, I believe,
Well, mine's more fucking fun.
Little book.
Mine's more fun and upbeat. It's actually not in the little book. That was just a coaster. Mine's fun and upbeat. Now, you want to start with Canadian celebrities you didn't know, or
Oh,
Canadian
what is this? What are we
inventions?
doing?
Well, I have more of a smorgasbord because I knew he was going to do a serial killer, and I don't want to go with the serial
Oh,
killer.
okay, so you're just gonna ask me
I
just
told-
Canadian things?
I told him to do like one of the more.
He wanted me to do a sports star, like a Canadian,
I
an
wanted-
American sports star. He wanted me to get under your skin, by the way. He said, hit him right where it hurts in the hockey. And then I was...
That's fine.
No, I was saying, why don't you do the story of the Miracle on Ice?
And then, that's Russia, you dumbass.
no,
That's-
we won against Russia.
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with Canada.
Have you ever heard
We
the
had to
Summit
beat-
series? You ever heard Canada versus Russia?
I did look at. I did look
70s?
into that,
Yeah, that was the fucking.
but
mark.
it meant the only reason I didn't do it is because
You
it.
guys have Russell Crowe play. Who's your fucking guy? And
I
Kurt
don't know.
Russell was he in a Miracle?
Kurt
when
Russell's
you guys
nice.
made the movie?
Kurt Russell's an American icon.
Yeah, no doubt.
Don't you dare
No,
talk
well,
about
I was
Mr.
going to
Russell.
do that, but the beef was less because they didn't have a. You guys never fought Russia, right?
No, but the reason that was the whole Soviet Union, like that thing was different. What do you mean we never fought Russia?
You
We've been in every fucking war you've been in.
Oh, you guys have as
but we've never
underneath
fought
another
another
big
thing.
Kevlar vest.
Yeah. Cold
just
War
following
with
you
us?
in, backing you up every fucking time. Yeah.
You're in the Cold War with us just because you're worried about the
I was
fallout.
born in Germany, motherfucker, because my dad was there for the Cold War.
Whoa, I knew I felt the disturbance. Of the
Which
force.
side?
Strong mustache.
Can we take 5?
Yeah.
Can we take 5?
Which side of that Cold War were you on, Pat?
Oh, Soviet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
big time.
Yeah. How'd that
Anyway,
go?
huh?
Okay.
How'd that go?
You know damn well.
All right, well, we'll start with this. We'll start with inventions that Canadians had that I didn't know were invented by Canadians. Some
Pig
of these
mulch.
feed. Some of these are controversial, which I don't necessarily think I believe all of them. So I'll
Oh,
read
so this
them.
isn't like this isn't like trivia. You're just telling me straight up what.
Well,
what's
one's
what?
trivia. The Canadian celebrity ones I'll ask you because I didn't know some of them, but I'll read like a list of things that you guys created that changed the world forever. Insulin? I thought
Yeah.
that was like an insanely American constitution. Not. Insulin, then it goes right next to the next most important thing, the IMAX theater.
That's the next most What about the telephone?
That I didn't know. Did you know? Well, it gets real murky because apparently Alexander Graham Bell's.
Fuck off.
Murky. You can't take that from Graham Bell. From Graham Bell?
It gets real murky because
Out of
apparently
your fucking mind.
Alexander Graham Bell was born. He claims he was born somewhere inside Canada, and the first recorded phone call was in Canada to somewhere else in Canada. But America being America, we just bought it later.
Of course.
We were just like,
we
that
also
looks-
invented basketball, but because it was a Canadian that did it in America, you're going to take that too because he was working at an American university when he did it.
Oh, do you mean James Naismith?
Yeah.
I think every major university in America has something named after James Naismith.
Yeah, sure.
Is that the name of the trophy they play for in the NCAA?
No.
The finals?
In the NCAA?
In the finals?
Is it?
I think so. It's the Naismith
Oh, it might
trophy.
be, yeah.
Yeah, it's a college
That's
basketball.
embarrassing because I love March
I
Madness so
lost.
much.
I already lost my March Madness bracket.
Oh, my bracket busted a while ago, but it was invented in America,
Yeah.
by a Canadian.
That's which you guys are.
So that's yours.
Once you're on the soil.
Now, do you have the same thing like as America? I had to explain this to my fucking wife the other day. I get
Technically, we invented America on someone else's soil. So as soon as we make it and it's here,
That's
it's
true.
ours.
it does pretty much track. I had to explain this to my wife the other day. I get mad when I see someone playing American on TV and then they accept an award and they're like, anyway, I was over here, pip pip cheer.
Sure.
Do you get bothered the other way? Like a dude, do they play it like if a guy's playing
Because of all the guys that have come over and played Canadian characters.
Yeah, you know when the
How
Trailer
many
Park
fucking
Boys
Oscar
accepted
accepted speeches
I don't know, maybe one of the major day players on Degrassi was born in like Colorado or something.
Drake?
Yeah, it's the closest thing.
No, I don't give a fuck about that. But I think Canadians play Canadians for the most part. We have
Okay.
more Canadians playing Americans.
Yeah, there's
Here.
a shit ton.
Yeah.
You guys invented standard time. Did you know that?
Is that right?
Yeah. Canadians invented standard time. It says the engineer Sandford Fleming brought standard time to the U.S. and Canada railways in 1883. Canada adopted it first, actually. And then, again, America was
And
like...
what was there before time?
I think niggas just, like, said be here. The sun's similar.
You guys still haven't really gotten a grasp on time.
Because we go by the sun. That's right. We're still on sundial. I'm over here trying to get my watch to hit something.
I mean, how am I without my sextus?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
By the power of raw. The electric wheelchair, which I will give you. I think we invented the regular wheelchair, but then you guys were like, why don't we throw
we
some
fucking
Throw a
upped
fucking
it.
motor
Threw a
on
little
this,
gas on the
bud.
fire, didn't
Why
we?
don't we throw a little 4x4 on this, get Granny
Hell
going
yeah.
if she needs to go. Mm-hmm. Trivial Pursuit.
Yep.
You knew that?
Yeah, because they're not far from where I grew up. The family of the people that invented it have a crazy estate.
Trivial
Like
Pursuit
45
money?
minutes from where.
Oh my
dude,
God.
Trivial Pursuit, but they're billionaires.
Yeah, fuck
I
yeah.
can only imagine.
Okay. Peanut butter. Also controversial. You guys really try and steal.
Wasn't peanut butter
What's
a
the
black guy?
controversy?
I thought George. Yeah, that's exactly. I got mad initially.
Wasn't it a black guy? Why couldn't it be both? Why couldn't it be a Canadian black guy?
They weren't allowed up there at that time.
Buddy, that's where they all went from fucking the Underground Railroad. They went to the East Coast. That's why we have a massive black population out in the East Coast in Halifax because that's where they were escaping
The
to,
Halifax
slaves.
Blacks? No.
Halifax blacks. Haliblacks, we call them.
Halifax.
I watched
Awesome.
the Harlem
They got a-
Globetrotters play them.
They got a great AAU team. That's wild. Yeah, but I thought it was invented by George Washington Carver. But it says we all know maple syrup is Canadian, but did you know that peanut butter was too? Apparently, some dude.
I didn't know peanut butter was. That's huge.
Yeah, peanut butter's big. You guys also made garbage bags and walkie talkies.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
How about that? Which and JavaScript, which is actually probably the most.
That's actually where a lot of our missing Indigenous women ended up, was in those garbage bags. I know. You know
They were
what?
in
That's
JavaScript.
actually, you have no idea how cancelable what I just said is in Canada.
Yeah.
I think I actually have to stay here now because I said that.
That's awesome. I don't understand how you guys invented bagged liquids, which
Bagged liquids.
I don't think that should be. Why
That's
have
not
you
an invention.
Why have they not switched?
The IV drip?
No, but like bagged.
I get it, but
Bagged
milk?
liquid? Milk bags?
Bagged beverages.
Out of your
Love the
mind.
milk bag.
Out of your
Love the
mind.
milk bag.
Slap it like a box of wine.
Yeah.
Like,
Now,
what
is
do you
this
mean?
is this a national thing up there that like is pretty agreed upon, or is it like an American thing that we made popular up there? Are ketchup chips inherently like
That's
everyone
Canadian.
loves those? I know it's
Not
Canadian,
everybody
but it's
loves
like-
them necessarily, but I also think that when you guys hear ketchup chips, because it sounds fucking disgusting, they don't actually really taste like ketchup. I don't think. I think
I've had the Lay's ketchup
and
chips.
thoughts.
They're fucking disgusting.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought they were really good.
They taste like condiments.
I
It's
like
bad.
them. How what about an all dress chip?
What? Is that like
All
salad
dressed is the
dressing?
other one. No, it's like all the flavors in one. It's a really really good.
Suicide
Have you ever
chip?
had a
Good chip.
Dorito?
Huh? A what now?
Let me introduce you.
We
to,
invented the fucking triangle, man. You don't know
You
that?
didn't know?
Damn, that
You
was
thought
my
it was
next
Alexander
one.
Graham Bell.
You didn't invent the triangle, but you did do something that has to do with oblong circles. The Wonder Bra.
The Wonder Bra.
Yeah, you
That's
guys were,
ours.
You guys were pro big bitches a long time ago.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
no, corn-fed girls. That's all.
You got to get
Thick-
big so you can
thick
survive the
women.
winter.
That's
Yeah,
it.
girls
Yeah.
that worked on the oil rig needed something to contain their heavies. I give you
Absolutely.
the Wonder
You ever heard
Bra.
of a 2-dog winter? This is a 1-bitch house.
The fuck is a 2-dog winner?
It's what it's like when sled dog people, like when they were like sleep, it determined how cold the weather outside was. They'd be like, "Nah, I need 2 dogs in here," and they would get under his blankets and warm him up.
Jesus fuck, that had to be such a dismal time to live. You're like, it's a 2-dog winter and it's going to be a 3-kid summer because we need to replenish.
Yeah, we need to get some shit out here.
You guys, I don't know what a catamaran is. You know what a catamaran is?
A catamaran. Yeah. Wait. Give me a moment here.
That doesn't say catamaran.
No, a catamaran is a thing.
It looks
What
like
is
it
it?
says
Isn't it
Canada
ca-
arm.
Canada arm.
The Canada arm. Do you know what that is?
I thought it was a catamaran, so no. What the
No, wait. Now I'm curious what a catamaran is. Do you know what the Canada arm is?
No, it's a Canada.
It's in space. So it's the arm they use in space to
You
repair
guys-
the space station.
Yeah, that's definitely what it's talking about.
We got a
Yeah.
few astronauts too, motherfucker. And
Shuttle
yes,
remote manipulator system. Yeah, it's not
pretty important thing that they use up there
I
in
thought
space.
everyone-
the
I think a
Canada arm.
catamaran
The
is a boat.
catamaran.
Why is
It's
it-
something like that?
I thought the Ruskies are sending people to the ISS. You guys got your own thing?
You can't even fucking look at the 5 nations that have been in space, huh? God damn it.
Okay, I didn't know you guys
Yeah,
were one of the 5.
catamaran is a boat. It's a
is,
multi-hull
okay.
boat with 2 hulls, similar size, connected by a bridge deck. Seems like a fun time to have a spring party.
Catamaran.
I think my family is a cat.
Correct. The Canada arm.
Okay. All right. Which, by the way, the Canada arm, way to be on the nose with it. You guys are great at that. Just be like, this is the Canada arm. It helps the Canada
We
ship.
probably tried to call it the hockey stick,
least-
and they were like, no, we got to be a little more practical here.
We called it Fat Man and Little
Yeah.
Boy, not America Fist.
Yeah,
Each time
true.
we
Some
dropped
guy
a
tried to
nuke.
call it the hoser helper, got fired on the spot. You're like, all right. You guys also invented the goalie mask, which I think is weird because you invented hockey. So it's like, wait, if just fucking, we also invented.
So what?
Well, what were they playing
You guys
with?
huh?
What were they playing with before?
Nothing.
They actually had like a weird little fucking leather, the same way that like football had like the leather helmets.
No, but there was before that, guys were playing full blown in the NHL with no mask whatsoever. There's some crazy pictures I can show you after of goalies that played in like the 60s and stuff, and they
Just
looked mutilated.
fucked
They were
up.
just taking pucks off the face.
Don't people die occasionally by getting slit in the neck through hockey?
There is
It's
one
happened.
guy.
It's happened,
There's-
yeah.
I've seen the video.
It has happened. It's happened at the professional level, and it's certainly happened at the but there's neck guards were like implemented so long ago for minor league hockey.
Well, if you
players.
saw it once, you can see it again thanks to this Canadian invention, instant replay.
Sure.
Yeah, which,
That's a big one.
that's actually fucking huge.
That's a big one.
How do you coin making
I
fucking
just feel like
instant
somebody did
replay?
that for like, I don't even know how you.
The first guy
they
who said-
rewound
the first guy who said,
Yeah.
"Run that back."
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says CBC television. What's the CBC?
Canadian Broadcast Corporation. That's our like big. CBC would be. It's kind of like CNN.
Okay.
Here, but also has creative projects.
Instead of Doctor Who, you have Doctor Hay.
Dr. A.
Yeah, Doctor A.
Yeah, it says it was made by CBC television producer George.
I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah, Retzloff. Basically, he did what you said. He goes, "Can we make this go this way. And they were like, yeah, but you got to pay some money
We
for it.
love it.
I don't understand this either. You guys invented the light bulb. I kind of think this list I'm reading is just bullshit.
You
now.
just don't. Anytime it's something that's pretty impressive, you're like, I don't know about this one.
You guys are allowed to make fucking almond bark, beavers, and maple syrup. It's crazy.
I want you to look up how complicated the Canada Arm is when you're done here, and tell me that we can't come up with how to light a fucking room.
Well, it says you guys invented it and then sold it to Thomas Edison of Menlo Park, Toronto. Some guys in Toronto made it and sold it to Thomas Edison because they couldn't commercialize it.
Do you know who Thomas Edison is?
Duh.
Goddamn red-blooded him.
I don't know. That's a little muddy.
Would you like to ask my back tattoo if I know who Thomas Edison is?
It just says squaw. No, they invented road lines. See, this is how I know this is some bullshit. Like the first 4 things are like real. It's like insulin, peanut butter, the light bulb.
Now we're just grabbing stuff
the
out of
road
the air.
lines, niggas. You invented chalk.
And you're not putting the light bulb in with the real shit?
No, that's real.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Very tangible.
I mean, you didn't mass produce it though, so that would be like
Okay. See, that's the most.
that's like you have one really good restaurant.
Didn't mass produce has nothing to do with inventing something.
Who invented mass production?
Okay, probably
American?
Probably the Russians, dude.
Yeah, look,
Let's be honest, or the Chinese.
It was the gunpowder and the Chinese way
Probably
before.
the Chinese.
And then we'll end on this. Road lines, snowblowers, the telephone. Like I said, Alexander Graham. It says it's
Can't take
sketchy.
snowblowers from us. You just skipped right over that, huh? You're giving us that one.
snowblower,
what?
you can have
What?
that
Your
one.
cold weather
Snowblower.
leaf blower. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Yeah, and you also invented the Caesar, the drink in the
Yes,
U.S.
but you guys don't have that here. You have Bloody
It's called the
Marys.
Bloody Mary,
And
You
it's
guys-
different. It's not the same drink.
Oh, it's not.
It's not the same drink. They're similar. They're not the same thing. Because ours is made with clamato, which is what do you make a
Just tomato juice?
Tomato juice.
yeah? So we have clamato juice, which is not tomato juice.
I like
Clam
Clamato.
and tomato juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clamato's not bad. Okay.
Good. The Caesar's a fantastic hangover drink. That's
Okay,
the
wait,
first thing
that
you-
sounds delicious as fuck. By
Yeah.
the way, I'll read this one little thing on the telephone, then I'll go to celebs.
Please. Is it controversial?
I mean, it's hazy on where this guy fucking grew up at, I'm telling you. It says, although the first telephone was built in the United States, okay, Alexander Graham Bell claims to have invented the device in Brantford, Ontario. That's only where that's also where the first long distance call was made in 1876 to Paris, Ontario.
Paris, Ontario. Yeah.
But he made it in America. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. It's fucking. It's fine.
We
It's hazy.
received the call.
It doesn't
Everybody,
matter.
you can make an outgoing call, dude. Dude, no, that's a fucking point. How many people are picking up a device and being like, "I'm gonna try to call someone"? No one's picking up
because no
This
one else
doesn't
had the
work
device.
yet.
Yeah, you're
no
not
one else
right.
had that.
Yeah, until the end, they picked up. So that's ours.
It's like if I have telekinesis with a random guy in China. It means nothing.
Right.
Fine, I'll fucking give you that one.
Thank you.
You guys invented the fucking. Okay, all right. And then Tristan, riff for 3 seconds while I pull this up because I want to know if he knows. Okay,
Oh, that
I have
should
the-
be
You
good.
guys
I
wear
have the
snowshoes
BuzzFeed.
up there everywhere you
If you're
go?
going snowshoeing, sure.
I have the BuzzFeed. This is good. Okay, people that you don't think are Canadian. Do you have any like fun ones off the top of your head?
That you don't think are Canadian? I've been shocked to find out there's a lot of Canadian celebrities that you guys didn't realize were Canadian.
Adolf Hitler.
I find, yeah, buddy, cornbread, Saskatchewan,
That's where
boy.
he's from?
What?
No, I lied. I'm just kidding.
No, you go ahead because I know that there's a lot of people here. We're like, especially in comedy in Hollywood, Canada's very prominent.
Do you guys have a Hollywood like a equivalent?
We have a Canada Walk of Fame.
Do you?
A lot of CBC broadcasters. Picton's on there.
Midnight anchors and shit.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Go ahead. Tell me which of your heroes you don't think are Canadian.
Well, no, I have a list of famous Canadians. Obviously, there's the big ones: Celine, Jim.
On a side note, within the same vein of true crime in Canada, have you heard of the first person I ever did on this podcast, the Anthill Kids?
No, you asked me about this at the stand the other night.
Yeah.
And I no,
Fuck.
not familiar.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Guys
they can't all be the pig guy.
Arch Thoreau, real motherfucker.
Right.
Pam Anderson, Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Keanu Reeves. See, I didn't know that either. I'm going through this list, and I'm
She's
like,
an American
"God damn.
sweetheart.
These niggas are sleeper cells, dog, just waiting to activate.
It's
So
like finding
funny.
out someone's
These
a
are,
Nepo baby.
I just so you know, none of these will be sleepers for me. I'm going to be well aware that these are all
I'll
Canadian.
find one you didn't know. Dan
ahead.
Aykroyd. Okay. Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Brian Adams. Fucking asshole. All right.
Have you listened to a Bryan Adams song? Where did you think that guy was from? West Virginia?
All right. I'll stump him. Nah, the girls are too.
Norm MacDonald.
No.
Go ahead.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
I didn't know Donald Sutherland.
Rachel McAdams, who starred in The Notebook with.
Ryan Gosling.
Canadian. Fuck.
Is he Canadian too?
Yeah.
Get him out of the Remember the Titans.
This guy knows the show. Oh, we did just watch Remember the
Keep
Titans.
going. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, go.
Michael Cera.
Yes.
You didn't know that.
Yes.
No one knows.
If we are obviously very aware of who's Canadian, dude. You can keep going. I'm telling you, you're not going to stump me on Canadian celebrity.
Chad Kroger.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Nickelback.
Yeah, dude, we can't get rid of that one. We've tried to give you Chad Kroger.
Nickelback
You won't even have him.
Awesome.
You can take him.
Here we'll do one more. Will Arnett.
Yeah, from Toronto. Rich kid.
You couldn't even.
Hayden Christensen. Anakin Skywalker.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay.
Last one.
Gotcha.
Last one. Yeah. See, he could have just been bullshitting this whole time.
Gotcha. Not as I didn't expect much of a reaction, but you didn't get me one either.
One half of the best smoking duo of all time. Tommy Chong's Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm done. That's the last one I had. No.
Also,
there's
Dead
zero-
Mouse 5.
What?
Dead Mouse 5.
Tommy, yeah?
Yeah.
Dead Mouse is Canadian?
It's weird.
It's not
DJ?
Dead Mouse 5, it's just Dead Mouse.
Yeah. What?
Oh, there's a 5 at the end of his
what a-
Who the
goddamn
fuck
name.
says 5?
That's like saying Six Lack. You
Dead
idiot.
Mouse.
Dead Mouse 5? Is that what you're supposed
No,
to
the
say?
S is the 5, is it not?
You guys need
Nah, I'm on Team Canada.
I wish you
You're
kept
an
going
idiot.
because there's so many good Canadians. You know, Phil Hartman, did you know he was?
The creator of Danny Phantom and stuff.
No, the guy that
That
did all
Butch
the
Hartman?
one of the greatest voice actors on The
Butch Hart.
Simpsons.
Yeah, that's Butch Hartman. You're thinking about Phil Hartman, whose wife did cocaine and killed him.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, he was on News Radio with Joe Rogan.
All right. Well, I thought I was going to be able to Canadian G check you. I was wrong.
No, you can't on those because we all were very proud of our Canadian celebrities.
Do you get? Is that like the? I think I asked you this maybe once. Is that like the goal of all entertainers, or are there some entertainers that are like, I'm gonna be Mr. Canada and just do my shit here?
Oh yeah, no, we have a lot of those. We have comedians and stuff. A lot of people that tried to make it down here and couldn't, and then some people that just love it in Canada. I would say there's a very, very small group, and it might even be 5 people, I would say, that stayed in Canada, never tried to do anything in America, and are millionaires in Canada.
Just
That figured out
fucking
how to do it
ginormous.
there and just really cornered the
You
market.
gotta get local
But
celebs.
then in Quebec, which is very interesting. So for stand-up comedy, Quebec is only one of our states, and that's the French part of Canada. They have their entire own industry there. So all of the richest stand-up comedians in Canada, I don't even know who they are. They all live in there because they have their entire own TV, their own radio, their own movies, everything. And so there's millionaire stand-up comedians that I don't even know, and they're all in Quebec.
That's how
Which is really interesting.
That's how some of the English do it. They'll just do fucking. They won't tour at all. They'll Ricky Gervais will just do a theater show once a week in the same fucking.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr would just go up and he's like, half my set will be talking to you.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
all right. Damn, that's sweet. All right, read the Patreon names. Let's get up out of here.
All right, so the names of our Patreon, we like to read them out, thanking for everyone who has subscribed to our Patreon. Please subscribe to the Patreon.
Make a fun name. It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah, we have Mara W, Tristan Eastine Schwitzel, which I did Google Translate, and it is the F slur. So thank you, Hayden. There's 2 people. I know one is Hayden with that same username. We got 2 of those floating around. I don't know who the other person is, but I have a sneaking suspicion.
One he made
of
a free account. You mooch.
Yeah. So we got Amber Hamby, Scott Hill, Comics Brain ZZZ, Pepe Le Fumes, AQ. We got Cobate Bro,
Okay.
Luca McGee,
Shout out.
Michael Densmore,
Straight to Bic.
the big boy,
Yep.
Valerie Oriana, Sup Babe.
God, gotta love when the cans come to play on the Patreon.
Yeah, Trying Times, Simpin' Ain't Easy, Michael Wellwood, Femboy Pussy Go Blap Blap, Billy Silver, Antonio Ramos,
Yeah.
Russell Hand, T. Sakura, Carl. When I was young and had no sense, I bought a flute for 50 pence, and the only tune I could play was "Fuck the Pope" in the IRA.
Gotta love Carl. Every week in, a week out. Big Carl.
Siege Zayon, Paul. We got Brad. My blues name is Jelly Jam Jizzy Jar Bowling. That's my father.
Makes sense.
J5 Explorer, Chaz, Pet My Goldfish. You keep asking me to, you might just get it. Charlie D, Thomas Smith, Haley, I fucker, Christopher Hansen, Hensam Williams, Roman Grijalva, Drax Kent, Racist Chipotle Worker, love that. Diddy Kulo, don't think he knows he subscribed. Clint, Shirtless, Final Stop, don't donator, you'll never get the shirt. It's a new podcast. Ryan Beach, Spencer, and the one and only Cream Knight himself from Tucson, Brody Asbill.
And that, kids, is all she wrote. Jared, you got anything to plug?
No, I actually got to be on stage across the street in 20 minutes, so I got to get out of here.
Okay.
But God bless you guys for having me.
Thanks for being
And God
on.
bless America.
God bless America, and Allah bless Canada.
America.
Fine.
Fine. Yeah.
Fine. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Hopefully soon we'll be able to have both the boys on.
That'd be nice.
That'd be fun.
Jolie. All right, y'all.
Bye-bye.